Okay, settlement aesthetics. I like to build a settlement that's functional as well as beautiful. This is not a good example of that actually, because this building is like a maze inside. It was mostly an experiment in architecture to see what kind of stuff I could do. I don't use this building, but this serves as a great example for one cool thing I like to do. I'm going to show you guys how to do, which is simply make a nice little overhang with a staircase as a support. All right, and the reason I'm here is because I like to build Starlight Drive-In. This is where most of my experiments happen. As you can see, floating platforms and stuff around here. This is where I come to experiment with new stuff. So we're going to ignore those, and we're going to go right over here to where I have this started. We just want to build, let's say, a nice a concrete support pillar with an overhang. And this is how you start it off. Concrete foundation. These will be the support beams, and this is here for access. I like to use these a lot as placeholders. Um, these simply work great to get to where you need to get to build. Also, I could put a floor up here. You'll see. As floating reference points. When I build buildings like this, I had rings of floating platforms all around to use as reference points. A lot of these pieces don't snap together, so you'll end up with several reference points, and you want to keep pieces floating there so you can build off of them. We'll get to that. For right now, now that I built these stairs, I can go ahead and go back into edit mode, and we can put the other foundation, making this a nice little pillar. Now we just need a floor across the top of here. This is where it gets a little harder done than said, because it won't let you put a floor over across the top of a staircase because it thinks you're using it to actually climb stairs. Of course not, silly. We're using it for support beams. So what we're going to do is we're going to temporarily attach a floor right here. We're not going to use this floor here because, as you probably know, these particular kind of stairs do not create an accurate reference point for where the next floor goes. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to sneak a floor in over this. So for that, we're going to need a few placeholder pieces, those included. So we can put these here. Now we just need to get a floor across this, just so it looks good from the ground. It should be, let's get some more stuff here so we don't fall off. I hate falling off when I'm trying to build. There we go, something to stand on. I see I have 8 of these still. I always had tons of these in my workshop because I use them for placeholders and reference points. Okay, so to get a floor across there, we're going to have to go beyond the snapping capabilities of the building editor. We're going to have to float a floor over it and eyeball it. Simple as that. Well, it should be simple, but as you're going to see, it doesn't want us to put a floor there. Okay, now when this annoying snap shit starts happening, I've seen people list all kind of ways to get around it, and let me tell you, the best way to get around this when it keeps wanting to do that is fucking let it snap, man. Let it snap. Snap here, snap there, snap everywhere. Oops, okay, that's a little ridiculous. We don't need that. Okay, now it won't try to snap anymore. Voila, and then we can just pick those pieces up. Problem is, it doesn't want to let us put a floor here either. Now, one way I found you can fix this is rugs. Of course, we'll take the rugs up afterwards. They ain't gonna stay there. But that's my build style is all about placeholder items, things we can pick up and use later. If you don't have ample material to build a couple of rugs, then what are you doing anyway, right? Okay, it didn't want to let us put a rug there, so I'm going to put down a couple pilot rugs. Maybe, hoping maybe now it will. Oh, it looks like it will. If we use just the right spot here. There we go. Sometimes it's easy. I've gotten away with doing this with one rug, and other times you got to really mess with it. I took that one away. That one went down. It might still work. Let's see. Basically, every time I've done these support beams, it's gone differently. Every time it's a different experience. Sometimes it wants to snap over there. Okay, let it snap. See, it'll let me put a board here. It will let me put the floor here. If I can line it up right, I say go for it. Now this is the problem. When you're working out of the snap system, you're working out of the snap system. Now that's fine. I got a board to go over that, and that's great. But I might have problems lining it up with whatever building is on top of and thus attached to this pillar. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is just an instructional video. I've gotten away with this easier than this. I've also had it harder. This works for now. Let's go ahead and delete all of these boards because we don't actually need these. We're just storing them. They're in the, it's not a waste. They're in the workshop, so if we need them later, we can get to them. No cost to us. Let's also get rid of these rugs because they just look bad. Alright, we're also not going to use these. Okay, so now we've accomplished one thing the game didn't want to let us do. And from here, it's pretty simple. You work and you hope stuff lines up. You snap it in. Let's go ahead and snap these here and here. Okay, that actually looks like a fairly decent match. Okay, not really, but we can work with it. Because what we're going to do is we're not going to use this and we're not going to snap off of this. This is our new floor. So see, it doesn't line up. It's not a huge deal because we are going to cover up the old one anyway. This is now our new floor up here, and this is what everything will be built off of. Which means we don't need these anymore. I love when it snaps like that. Not really. Okay, there we go. So now, that's pretty much all there is to it. There's a lot more complexities, different problems can arise. The best way to do the stairs as support beams is start off with the rugs. There's many other ways to level, to layer floors without snap, but basically said and done, that's the pretty quick way to do it, right there. Alright, I hope you guys like this trick. I got many more examples of it and many more tips and tricks to show you. I am Darkdally. Comment below with what you like, didn't like, or want to see, and I will see you guys later.